Hi folks, this is Dr. Cywes, the Carb Addiction Doctor, and today we're going to talk about another highly emotive, controversial topic, artificial sweeteners. Artificial sweeteners. And while it may seem like one topic, the artificial sweeteners occur in a variety of different categories and species. Should we or shouldn't we? And everybody's emotive about how they fall on this. Well, I'm going to give you my opinion and the way we use artificial sweeteners in my practice. So there is a very, very distinct difference in the use of artificial sweeteners between food and liquids. We use liquids for hydration. We also, and this is what most people are not aware about, use liquids as something to drink in terms of its mind cleansing ability, its serotonin activation. Food, on the other hand, when you are a carb addict, when you've had obesity, type 2 diabetes, metabolic syndrome, food is something we want to eat purely for the nutritional side. So let me just clarify in one sentence. Artificial sweeteners do not belong in food. Artificial sweeteners do not belong in food. Prior to this, I've done a whole video on keto lookalikes and how harmful they are for addiction. I don't care what you make your donut of. Even if it's got zero carbohydrates, a donut is not anything we ever consume for nutritional value. Here in Florida, in my backyard, I do not have a donut tree. So artificial sweeteners do not belong in our food, period. And in our addiction model, at least in my model, I'm very adamant about that. Do not do lookalikes. End of story. Now, the place where artificial sweeteners may have a role is in the spectrum of liquids that we drink. There are two reasons why we drink liquids. We drink water for hydration. And water or something with salt or electrolytes in it is ideal for hydration and should never contain calories. And I'd even argue with you that what we drink for hydration should not contain artificial sweeteners. But there's a middle category. There's a category of things that we can drink for the mind cleansing value, for the emotional value. I call it a bridge. And a bridge is a snack without calories. And all human beings, whoever you are, if you have a brain, your brain will take a break from focus, from concentration about every 20 to 30 minutes. And what we do in that break time, what we do to activate that serotonin or endorphin release defines who we are as human beings. You've got your smoker, your alcoholic, your religious person, your chatty person, you've got your golfer, you've got or sports person, you've got your coffee drinker, you've got your sugar drinker, your carboholic. And the transition in my practice when you are a carb addict is to replace whatever sugary drinks you drank with drinks that do not contain sugar. And if you need, in order to establish that relationship, or at least in order to prevent you from going to the real sugary thing, to drink an artificial sweetener from time to time, it is absolutely fine. If you look at my fridge right now, the key thing that I focus on is having a spectrum of things to drink. I have Fresca, I have Diet Coke, I have Diet Root Beer, I've got unsweet tea, or diet tea. Actually, it's been sweetened with an artificial sweetener. Those are absolutely fine. Are they perfect? No. But we're not striving for perfection, we're striving for health. Now, when it comes to artificial sweeteners, there are sugar-extracted sweeteners that I'm not a big advocate of. Those are your stevias, sugar-reduced. They still cause a response on a CGM. If I wear a continuous glucose monitor, if I'm a type 1 diabetic, I will see a slight rise with the sugar-extracted ones. They just have less sugar in them. And I try to stay away from those. The phenylalanine ones, phenylalanine does cause harm. So if I do drink something with phenylalanine in it, it is very rare and it's not very often. So that even though it's not perfect, it doesn't cause significant harm. It's not something I drink all the time. But the other sugar substitutes are absolutely fine, and that's the category that I look at. The Splendors, the Equals, that kind of thing. Those are the ones that are absolutely fine to have in your drinks. If you choose to. If you choose not to, that's fine too. But don't malign artificial sweeteners. They don't make you crave for sweet things. Quite the opposite. Quite the opposite. But don't eat artificial sweeteners in your food. That's a slippery slope. That's carb creep. But in your drinks, they're absolutely fine as a form of mind cleansing. Don't be a perfectionist on that. If you need it, if you desire it, absolutely fine. And I've never seen somebody fail who drank their artificial sweeteners. That has never been a reason for relapse. It does nothing for diabetics in terms of elevating their blood sugar. And if you blame artificial sweeteners for your relapse back to sugar, you do not understand carbohydrate addiction at all. And I'm very specific and adamant about that. It is a very, very powerful tool that we specifically use in exactly the same way we might use methadone to get a heroin addict off heroin. In exactly the same way we use a nicotine patch to get people to quit smoking. Artificial sweeteners have incredible, powerful value as we migrate away from sugary drinks. If you're a perfectionist, it's because you are highly structured, rigid in your authoritarianism. And that is part of the problem with addiction. Dismantle your authoritarianism, tolerate what's okay, but have very strict boundaries around what's not okay. Artificial sweeteners are okay in our program. Argue with me if you wish to. There's a whole comment section. If artificial sweeteners are your trigger, you're looking in the wrong place, ladies and gentlemen. Look elsewhere. Look toward your deficient effort-based emotion management system as the cause of your relapse, not to artificial sweeteners. If you want to understand more, contact me. Our contact information is just below this video. I hope I made you think.